Hello and welcome to stage 4 of the 2011 Dakar Rally, and we're crossing into our second country today, from Argentina to Chile. In the bikes, Coma strikes back, but will it be enough to take overall rally lead? We'll have to wait and see. And drama in the cars. A small mistake from Peter Hansel's damaged his left window. Will he take victory with that problem? Well, the final day in this first week of the Argentinian part of the Dakar Rally provided us with beautiful landscapes as the land rose up and formed the Andes. For many of the competitors, this is just an adventure. They're not interested in times, they're not interested in the competition. They just want to see the beautiful landscapes and feel the crowds. Such was the trickiness of the stage yesterday that night fell when some of them were still out there. With an early morning to get up to the top of the mountains for this stage today, it's going to be very tiring for some of the amateur riders. They still are putting on a good show for the fans. One story we did miss yesterday was the rise of Thomas Maffei, the Argentinian taking stage victory in the quad section. The reason we missed it, his IRI track not working throughout the stage. He pops up into third in the overall standings, and we'll see what he does today. The landscape provided everything yesterday, from vegetation and water to sand and dunes. Argentina now gives way to Chile as we cross the Atlas Mountains, and it's quite a liaison that the riders and drivers had to get up 500 kilometers of windy mountain track. Another of the stories from yesterday, Marcus Patronelli, the hero of Argentina, who was winner of the 2010 Dakar, has been struggling from the very first day. He injured his ankles in testing in October, wasn't sure whether he would actually take part at all, but did decide to take the first few stages of the rally. Normally, the quad riders stand up on their quads. As you can see, Patronelli in pain, and therefore deciding not to take any further part in the rally. With the first of the major sands came the inevitable cars getting stuck. Here, Frenchman Laurent Campana gets his Mitsubishi in the dirt. Dutchman Peter Francis van der Kolk.
First in my life before, because it's my first Dakar. Well, now we know exactly how to shuffle.
And that was shovel rather than shuffle. A lot of shoveling done by Peter and his co-driver to finally remove their Toyota out of some deep sand. But that won't be the last time. They'll learn from their experiences today. Another major story was Alain Duclos riding for the Aprilia work team Geophil, yet again having problems. He said there was a large compression just right here. I hope my pain will go. He's got a very bad headache. He doesn't really know what happened. He said I slipped right and then left and then went into the woods. I did put my head down, but something hit my back and my helmet. Pain in the head is not the worst of Alain Duclos' Dakar 2011. He's had mechanical problems with the bike as well, including having to sit out stage 2 whilst he waited for the truck to look after him. He said, I can't ride. Every 10 minutes I'm asking myself,
C'est que je roule, je
Says, what am I
transpire,
doing
je
here?
me bats.
I ride, I sweat, I fight,
Ça n'a pas de sens.
but I just don't manage it. There's no sense in this. Finally, with much encouragement from the fans, he mounts his Aprilia and back on his way. He's not in contention for the rally victory, however. And how about this? Hohoy, the last of the Argentinian bivouacs for this first week, and a massive crowd coming out to greet the Dakar runners. They stayed from the very start in the morning to the very last competitor at night, providing a fantastic backdrop to the Hohoy bivouac. Sleep was needed though, because it was a very early morning to head up the Andes. Now we take a quick look at a massive adventurer. Albert Bosch, the Spanish man, has done very many things with his time, and he is taking part this year in a McRae single-seater buggy. He says, I was always interested in adventures, to come back to origins, because in the last editions of the Dakar, I was only thinking about engines, more power, running faster. I know I'll never win the Dakar, well, at least I think so. And suddenly this option gives me a chance to achieve the Dakar in a very special way, an adventure. Me alone, integrating things that I love the most about the Dakar. He's a climber. He's done the 7 summits, the highest summit in each of the 7 continents around the world. Got to the top of every single one, incling Everest. I think the most difficult thing I've done is Everest and the McKinley, and it's on the very same level as Dakar on a motorbike. The Everest is a very symbolic mountain, not so heroic than before because it's very crowded today, but it's still very hard and risky, a bit like the Dakar itself. Not so heroic like in the first editions, but every different entrant this year knows it will be a very hard and risky, like climbing Everest.
Con el Everest pasa un poco lo mismo. Bastante parecido,
both are very similar. You have to look for the right team, very reliable, and sometimes these are people that you've just met, and during the long days of your success and even your life are depending on them. In the Everest I saw it very clear. My team now, some of them, I met them 3 months ago, and some of them right here. I depend on them.
Los conocí prácticamente unos hace 3 meses y los otros aquí. O sea, y dependo totalmente de ellos, son mi familia.
They're my family. He's also a writer. He wrote a book about his mountaineering experience and has previous Dakars on bikes. But it's not been easy for him.
Vivir realmente en
For me, it's all about to live the adventure.
Que además permite que participe Carlos Sainz, un campeón
The Dakar allows both big Carlos Sainz and a guy like me, and even a first-time rider or driver, to be together and to live the adventure, each one in his own way. We'll keep following this crazy man throughout the rest of the show. So, stage 4, and we cross over the Paseo del Jama stage happening in Chile. Just 207 kilometers. It's not a big one, but it's a very, very long liaison to get there in the first place. So let's take a quick look at the bikes. And once they'd got to the very top of the Andes Paseo del Jama, a bivouac awaited. Breakfast was served for bikes and cars alike before they set off on their stage. It was a beautiful ride up to the top of the hill, and now the serious stuff begins because the sands have arrived.
C'est clair qu'un Dakar sans désert, c'est pas un Dakar, et là on arrive.
Prez says it's not a Dakar unless you don't have sands.
Dans le désert ouvert, donc c'est une bonne chose.
And an open stage is what we like. First on the stage then, Mark Kummer. Having taken stage victory yesterday, there was a slim margin between him and Cyril Desprez in the overall standings going to this day. He's now happy to be out front and leading the stage, but he had to press very, very hard to get the advantage home. Eventually, by the end of the stage, he did take victory, but by the slimmest of margins. He's only 2 seconds now ahead of Cyril Desprez in the overall standings, but vitally, he is in the lead. Desprez lost about 30 seconds early on in the stage. Perhaps the early morning, again, causing problems. But then Kummer rode a little bit harder in the second part, and he had to push too. He finished just 16 seconds down, but, as we said, has lost the rally lead. Third position was the Geofrill Aprilia of Francisco Lopez. He went into yesterday in 4th spot, having really enjoyed riding his Aprilia through Argentina, but it was a day to forget. Initially he got lost, and then frustration continued when he had a fuel problem which he had to fix and lost 10 minutes while stationary. He finished the day in 11th, started today with some traffic, but once clear, his pace was faster than the two ahead of him. He's back up to 3rd overall. Oliver Pat once again was 4th spot and best Yamaha. However, yesterday, with problems with his roadbook not scrolling through, he made a mistake in one of the villages, went speeding through it and incurred a 10-minute penalty. It means he's gone down now in the overall rankings. He's 12th overall. Helder Rodriguez had ear track problems all stage, so he didn't actually know where he was for most of it. 10th at CP1, he was 5th by the end of the stage, 7 minutes down. Jordi Villadons has finally got to grips with his Yamaha. Setup problems over the last few days caused a 12-minute delay. 6th yesterday and 7th today has elevated him back into the top 10. Frenchman David Castor has had a torrid rally so far. He crashed on day one into the crowd, and yesterday's stage reminded him of his awful crash last year. So he's desperately pushing now to try and gain some lost time. He's 30 minutes down overall in 8th spot. The man we haven't seen too much of, Frans Verhoeven, was the best BMW, but down so far in 9th position. It wasn't a good day for the Speed Brain team. Concalves even further down. He finished the day in 16th spot after problems. But the story today was definitely Lopez back to the top with Chilean support. Confirmation of the results from stage 4 then. Kummer beats Desprez by just 16 seconds. Lopez 3rd, Oliver Pat again 4th. Helder Rodriguez rounds out the top 5. Overall, Paulo Concalves does hold on to his 4th spot. Lopez back up to 3rd and Rodriguez is still 5th. But those three well down on the front two.
Un día importante, ¿no? Primer día de desierto.
Mark Kummer says this day was important, the first one in the desert, with the stage of just 200 kilometers where it was hard to find open track. I had a good feeling and I'm happy with the way it's gone. I'll fight all day until the end. This evening I'm second for 2 seconds.
J'avais 14 secondes d'avance hier.
For number 2, it's not so bad. I had a 14 seconds of advantage yesterday.
Il était un peu piano
And
dans
today
certains
he
endroits, parce que
takes
c'était
16
un peu
seconds.
délicat, donc,
It was little by little in some places
c'est pas bien
because
grave,
it was having to be delicate.
Deuxième à 2 secondes.
But second by 2 seconds
Bien,
is okay.
Nadia, hoy nos metimos tercero.
Today I'm third.
Ya un poco mejor en Chile. Mañana empieza a ser todo
It's a little bit better being in Chile.
Río.
Tomorrow, though, will be more complicated. Today, you use the left of the track with
Comí un poco de polvo, pero igual el ritmo que
bits of
lleva,
desert, and Cyril and Mark were very, very fast.
el ritmo que llevo hasta ahora es bueno
I couldn't catch them. Even little Dakar machines looked dwarfed under the Atlas Mountains. 550 kilometers of liaison before they even got to the top of the mountain. And then they had a stage to do. Even up there, though, there were still fans aplenty trying to get a shot of their heroes.
Yes, sir.
And a tear trying to get a kiss here.
The altitude here very high and we feel a little bit like disease, you know, but okay. We have now 200 kilometer special stage. We try to our best because now I think Dakar start.
Es cansado seguro porque
Sainz says, of course I'm tired, because we left the bivouac at 5 o'clock in the morning. We did 500 kilometers of mountain roads. We're in altitude and we've passed at 4,800 kilometers. The truth? Yes, of course I'm tired. Whilst they got to the top, there was breakfast for the runners. The cars not starting till 1.
Liaison de 550 km.
Hansel says this 550 kilometer liaison passing at 4,800 kilometers has tired us all. I feel like I didn't even wake up very well. It's 1 o'clock in the morning at lunchtime, but we are tired, and it can't be very important.
200. 100 folks, stay right into tight right. The piste is twisty. And 200 caution, long left, 2 river crossings. Turn left, then in front of the mountain it turns right. Go to a waypoint, which is in 1 kilometer. 100 waypoint, more right to find the waypoint. Okay, now we need to go Cap 40.
As you can see, finding waypoints in the Dakar 2011 edition, particularly tricky. They don't appear until 800 meters before you're anywhere near them. Nasser Al-Attiyah then, winner of the stage yesterday, felt he should have won by 2 minutes rather than just 25 seconds, still struggling with power issues that he thought was caused by rain. No rain on this stage. Remember, he lost the Dakar by just 2 minutes to Sainz last time, and it was Carlos Sainz once more who took stage victory today.
500 metros y griega por la derecha. Estamos en la pista principal.
50 seconds separated Sainz from Al-Attiyah. Although Al-Attiyah was in control in the early stages, Mark Miller also showing up high on the result standings throughout the stage. It was definitely a Volkswagen day. On board with Stefan Pederhansel.
Ondulation dans G2 sur 2 km. Piste sinueuse. Et 100 mètres après, on a un gauche tiré devant une grosse borne. 100 mètres gauche devant maison. Ça serait ça. Gauche tiré. Et 300 mètres à droite sur une petite piste, on partira à droite.
Là.
Direction Carablancas, là.
Ça,
Attention.
C'est ça.
D'accord. Carablancas. Carablancas.
C'est là, ouais. T'es sûr que c'était pas ici qu'il fallait quitter la grande piste? Bah là, t'étais calé.
Ouais,
hein,
non, mais
maintenant, on cherche pas à comprendre.
Non, on cherche pas à comprendre. Je suis dans 300 mètres. Gauche dans G2 avec ornière à droite. Les grosses ornières sur la droite, serré à gauche. 150 mètres. 100 mètres. Serre à gauche. Serre à gauche.
As you can see, plenty of discussion going inside the cockpit. It's not a case of the co-drivers just giving advice. Peder Hansel also helping out. He finished the stage today third, and some 1 minute and 25 seconds debt back. The damage to his door doesn't look like more than just a faulty sill. No damage to the rest of the car. Certainly would have been distracting though, with sand coming in and fogging the view. Julien de Villiers, again, starting to find his feet in the Volkswagen. Lost some time in the second half of yesterday's stage, which mystified him. And that's where he dropped to 5th on the stage. Today, though, back to 4th, but some 2.5 minutes back from Carlos Sainz's pace. Remember, he won the Dakar in 2009. Confirmation of the results, Sainz just 50 seconds ahead of Alatia by the end. Peder Hansel yet another minute and 20 down. Then de Villiers, Mark Miller continuing his comeback. And the overall ranking, nearly 5 minutes between Sainz and Alatia now. Peder Hansel over 5 minutes behind, and then a big gap to de Villiers and Holovitz.
Actually, it's not easy, you know, when you open the road. But okay, I think we make it really good time. I think Carlos is faster from us. I don't know, 30 or 50 seconds. But really, we did good job. Timo, he did good job. Because I enjoy a lot today, you know. I think tomorrow it will be much better for us because we start second car behind Carlos, and at least we can attack because tomorrow will be real stage.
Sí, un poco más de navegación, un poco más de...
There was more navigating today and more off-road. But tomorrow is where everything starts for serious.
Cosas serias.
Ouais, ça aurait pu être bien parce qu'on était
I suppose it could have been better. We were leading at some of the CPs, but we had a puncture, so we lost 2 to 3 minutes. And that is the case of missing the stage. We were good at navigating, we had a good in the altitude, but despite the puncture, we saw the performance in altitude, and that will help us in the coming days.
Donc voilà, malgré ce petit problème de crevaison, c'est encore pas catastrophique et ça nous a montré que la voiture marchait bien en altitude, ça c'est pas mal.
And so to the trucks. And the story really today is with the deep sand, not only are they getting stuck, but they're also helping out some of more amateur competitors. Trucks originally were on the Dakar Rally just to do this, to tow people out of the sand and to provide spares for the cars as well. But as the Dakar continued and the trucks got faster, then they began to race. And what a race we have on our hands at the moment. You'd have thought it would all go Chagin's way, but at the moment Alice Lepre is doing a fantastic job keeping the Kamaz driver at bay. Kabirov also trying to battle through, as is Nikolaev. We'll have more in the coming days from the trucks. Look at that, even the organisers getting stuck in the sand. Now the TV truck's out, he can come and bring us some more pictures. Tomorrow, after a relaxing morning, greets the short liaison before a 243-kilometre stage of various different shades of sand. There will be a bit of greenery as well, and it'll end in a bivouac at the bottom of a 2.3-kilometre dune. It'll be a bit spectacular stuff. See you then.